Hey world, Valentinian here. I wanted to tell you the story of my paper organizer for Autorim and all the official and unofficial and fan content I was able to cram into it. I did post some photos in May 2023 when this was first created, but I feel there's way too much cool stuff here just to leave it to photos. So let me try to go over it and see if I can, show you how exciting this is and how exciting I am to have finished it. Okay, so we're starting with the manuals and everything, so that's right on top. We remove that. Then we have a little bit of space on the side, so obviously we have to use that space. So I created this, we call it a bar. Obviously you have the instructions, how to set up and play the game, and you have special cases and how to resolve them on the back. It's still work in progress, uses the design of the original game, and hopefully I'll get this better. But for the moment, that's what it is. Then we have the exciting part. That's the box of the expansion. So what does it do here? Well, I've integrated the box into the organizer itself. So once you take out all the components, you don't throw out or store the box somewhere. You actually use it as part of the organizer. And so this is the first such case where you actually store everything into one box. You really don't have any other boxes lying around. So that's cool. Now I did have some space here left over, so I made these little trays. You can use them during gameplay. Each of the players gets a tray for their components. They're not exactly the same length, but I think that's a minor inconvenience. So I wouldn't pay that much attention. Now, how do you take this out? First, we have this tray here, which you lift. And I originally didn't know what to use this for, maybe extra dice or something, or yeah. But then I created that carousel. And the way you use this is when you reveal contact tokens and you have the databank cards that everybody has seen, and then you have to put them somewhere where you can easily see them. So you have this carousel where when you insert the cards, and if there's a contact token, the character picture will be visible inside. And then you can store up to 8 of them, and they will take minimal space on the table. They'll be easy to lift up and review without taking them out. So I felt that's a cool idea and an extra use of this space. Now I'm going to move this to the side so we can talk about more what's the main structure here. And the big idea is to have a single component multiplied by 22, 23, which will store all the cards. This component is used for both storage and gameplay. You take out the card that you need to draw. If you need to discard, you just insert it at the back. Once you get used to it, you can do it with one hand. It is a bit finicky since the margins are very tight, but it does work. I do have an improved design, but this is good as it works. So the ones are in the middle are for the market, single player, and then everything related to the galaxy is obviously the common color of the expansion, the dark blue. Yeah, and I think that's pretty unique to have a single piece of component used everywhere. So one of those boxes stores about 34 cards or something. So it has room for all the basic cards, the official expansion, and the unofficial cards I was able to get from the Hot Shots expansion. And there is room for a bit more. So every box fits everything it needs, and it has room for more. So you have built-in content for every single type of card and more cards like this one. For example, is exclusively from Hot Shots. These are asteroid type of cards. Oh no, they're not asteroid. They're different. They're different things, but they are a unique type of card for the official expansion. Obviously, lots of room for asteroids if anyone wants to make any. Now I'm going to put these aside for the moment, so we can have a look at the other expansion material. So let's get back this box right over here. Okay. It is a tight fit, so it will take a second to remove it. What do we have? So we have the manual for Autorim, great. We have the manual for Hotshots. I mean, the design is just amazing. Highly recommend anyone who hasn't picked it up just to use it. You have the extra boards and extra cards of all types and tokens in different ways you can integrate it, and just wonderful. I hope I can contribute a little bit eventually. Okay, so we have this extremely useless thing here on the side. Don't pay attention to that. Then let's start with this tray. So all the patrols, space patrols, and we have ground patrols from the unofficial expansion. They are colored, so it just makes it more beautiful when they are on the map. You can just tell them from the side, even if you don't see it exactly which type of patrol this is. And then you have this tray for the standees, which I've designed. So I know there are different designs on Etsy for that. I just wanted to create something for myself that props up the token and sort of makes it look a bit better and easy to distinguish when it's there on the map. Okay, so yeah, lots of room for more tokens if you want. Okay, then let's have a look at this tray. These are X-Wing X-Wing miniature game tokens. They're exactly the same, and I use them for the bad guys or the NPCs. I don't want them throwing my own dice. I want to have them badass looking dice. And below that, we have these failure tokens from Hotshots. They're optional, and so I wanted to have a way to store them intrusively, and I think that's really cool. Next up, okay, these are the end caps for the Galaxy trays. We know what they are for, so they just store them on the top. And we have all the ambition sheets. They're spread into two piles so they can take as minimal space as possible. And here we have all the Galaxy tiles and the regular dice. And these are the two tiles from Hotshots with Yavin for Dathomir and with Scarif. I mean, it is a handwork. You can see that I've cut these pretty rough, but actually I think they're good enough. Okay, and the rest of them we all know. Next up, ship tray. Now, first purpose of this tray is obviously to fit as many ships as possible. And we have these cool radiators, which are just, I mean, cool looking. Every ship has radiators. If they don't, I mean, waste of power. Okay, and we have a way to lift these right there, and we have to lift these right here with holes on the back. The second purpose of these grills, except for being good looking, is to support the box on the top. And the third purpose is to, when you split them up into, let's say, $5,000 ships, and just to insert them into them, then we have the 5, 10, 15, then we have 20, 25, and then there's a couple of ships, maybe 30. And there's that, and obviously we have a lot of ships here, original ships, fan-made ships, lots of them. And there is room for maybe a couple more. Okay, next up, databank cards. Okay, nothing fancy about this design, a huge cutout from the front so you can see the number. They are made to be stored horizontally, but you can store them vertically if you want. They are stable enough. Put them on the table, and there is a little bit of cutout to help with drawing cards. Nothing fancy, just practical design. Next tray, contact tokens. Again, I've painted all my contact tokens. Since the unofficial expansion Hotshots was created before the official one, the creator didn't create any orange tokens since he didn't know they will be coming up. So I've created a few more to fill all the space if needed, but I still have to create the cards for them. So maybe that's something I have to finish now. Okay, next up. All right, we have two very simple trays to store all the resources in the most efficient manner, so it allows you to quickly take them out. And then, of course, it takes a bit of time to line them up again. So as you can see, they're right up to the edge here. So 2 resource trays, 1 for each side of the table. Simple. Okay, I really want to create something with this. I'm using them to prop up the databank cards, but I was thinking maybe there is a special card luxury item that creates has a secret holocron or something, and so when you combine these two pieces, you sort of flip them back, and then there is a hidden galaxy or location like a planet or something, Exago maybe, and then you go and do some fancy mission there. I don't know, just an idea, but I want to use these eventually in some sort of mini expansion. Okay, hold your breath. These are the character standees, all of them. Original game, official expansion, unofficial expansion. The most efficient way to store standees and look at them at the same time. Now, how cool is that? Okay, so you have a window to see each one of them. You can individually select, pick up, and store them. You can just put them on the table. They're really cool looking, take minimal space, and store it in minimal space. And as you can see, they sort of almost want to come out. And yeah, so there's that. Okay, a couple more trays here left. This one. Okay, that was a bit fancy to make it, but I did create these additional layers for the sliders for all the factions, and so I now needed to create a tray for them as they took too much space and couldn't be stored inside their grooves. They have to be stored separately, but this just creates a bit more premium feel when you slide them up and down, and yeah, so that's the purpose of this. Final tray, we just use this cool cutout here to have all your depth tokens and markers for the theme. And that's what the final tray part of this is. Again, really efficient design, made to create space for all the cool fan content and official content out there, made to be used both for storage and for gameplay, with room to expand almost every single component with additional cards. Of course, support sleeves, everything is sleeved, and there's room for cool extra trinkets and accessories. And yeah, so this paper organizer took me about a month and a half to make, working every day, a couple of hours. All the blueprints are with me, so if anyone wants to buy this, I'll have a link for my shop in Etsy, so I can then create my a replacement eventually. But yeah, it will be available for purchase if you want it, guys. So thank you, and may the force be with you.